Here's a walkthrough of our ventilator design. You can see there's an Arduino here controlling it with a TFT display. Underneath there's a relay. We've got a pressure sensor internal to the box to measure atmospheric pressure. We've got a pressure sensor here at the sensor port to measure the pressure at the patient. We've got I2C bus buffers so that we can run a Ethernet cable to connect the I2C pressure sensor back to the Arduino. The relay here controls a 5-way 2-position solenoid that's driving our cylinder to compress the bag, and we've got an external compressed air source here helping drive the system. Now, to make this work, we've got a couple things. Tidal volume is set by placing shims onto the side of the bag. The more shims that you place will limit the amount of compression that you will get on the bag and thus set the tidal volume. We can pre-calibrate the total tidal volume given the amount of shims. Respiratory rate will be set through the UI. Eventually this will be a TFT touch display. Right now it's not a touch display because that hasn't come in the mail yet, but that will eventually be a touch display to set the respiratory rate, the IE ratio, as well as all the alarms for peak pressure, plateau pressure, peak pressure, negative pressure for patient trigger assist, so that you can set it low or high so you can wean your patient. Now, peak pressure is set through the compressed air. So you can see here we're running at a peak pressure of about 23 centimeters of water, and if I turn this up, I can let me turn that up. I can change it. I can increase it. To here, it's currently set to 33 centimeters of H2O. So what's nice is that this sets your peak pressure. So you'll never exceed that peak pressure because ultimately that pressure is driving your pneumatic cylinder, and so it's only going to squeeze the bag that hard and you won't go any higher. And then the other control is we can set the post-inspiratory pause by changing the speed at which we compress the bag. Right now it's at the slowest setting. If I open up the speed control, you can see that I'm now compressing the bag much faster. And I can slow it down again. So this is the speed controller. It basically controls how quickly the gas can vent out of the cylinder, which controls the speed at which we compress the bag. So again, I can open this up, and now it's a very fast compression. Still doesn't significantly increase the peak pressure because that's set by your external air, but now you have a very long post-inspiratory pause. Also, the PEEP pressure is set through the PEEP valve on your bag. So if I crank this down, you can see that PEEP was around 6, and let's say I crank it down some more, and you can see that the PEEP valve is now higher, and it's measuring the increase in the PEEP. Crank it down some more. So that's a demonstration of our ventilator. Peak pressure, PEEP pressure, post-inspiratory pause, respiratory rate is going to be set through the UI, IE ratio set through the UI, peak pressure, plateau pressure, PEEP alarms, all set through the UI, and that's our design. Please send me what you think. Any comments or criticisms. We're trying to improve it and work as quickly as we can. Thank you for your time.